Nashville, Tennessee. And when I moved to Nashville as an up-and-coming songwriter, I would go anywhere I could to get a free meal. I was single at the time, and most of my friends were single because we hadn't learned how to keep a girl. But I had one friend who was married. One married friend, and I found out quickly that married friends were awesome friends to have when you needed a free meal. So I would go over to my friends, Clark and Angie's house all the time, and I would stay an awkwardly long time until I started to smell the food cooking. And then they'd be setting out the plates, and Clark's wife Angie would say, well, we're gonna eat now. I guess you can stay. And I'd say, oh really? Okay, sure, thank you. And I'd have a free meal thanks to my friends. Well, they had a little boy named Jace, 4 years old. This little boy liked to hang out when guests came over, and after we'd eat dinner, it'd be time for Jace to go to bed, but he didn't want to because he wanted to stay up late like a big boy and have dessert. This little boy had a brilliant stall tactic, and I witnessed it every night when I was at their house for my free meal. He knew it was time for bed, so he'd run up to his dad and wrap his arms around his neck and say, Dad, I love you. I love you more than ice cream. His dad would say, Jace, I love you more than peanut butter. Now go to bed. How many of you think that 4-year-old boy obeyed his father? For about an hour more, I heard this game, the I Love You More game, back and forth, and I thought, man, if I ever get a girl to stay with me long enough to get married, maybe we'll have kids, and maybe I'll play that game, the I Love You More game. I thought it was so sweet. Well, one day I went over to my friend's house. Why did I go? Oh, you're paying attention. I went there for a free meal, but they weren't home, but that didn't stop me because I found out where they kept their spare key. I let myself in, made my way into the kitchen and towards the refrigerator to make my meal. But something stopped me, and it was a picture this little boy had drawn for his dad. This little boy, when he was born, Clark wasn't his dad. He was born to a teenage mom in Florida. Couldn't give him a good home, but she did the right thing and gave him one for adoption. This little boy loves his mom and dad's adoption so much that he drew him a picture of a bright yellow sunshine with his Crayolas. And then with the help of his sister, he scribbled this message on that piece of paper I saw that day on the refrigerator, and it said, Dear Dad, I love you more than the sun. I just heard 3 women awe. The Bible says where 3 women awe, every woman in the crowd was awed together. Don't look for that, I don't think it's in scripture actually. I looked at that picture and I felt like my God was saying those same words to my heart. And I pray this weekend that you've heard that message over and over again. The reminder that you are important to God, that you matter to God, and His love for you will never run out. Now here's how this first story ends. My friends were doing construction on their home, and the workers had moved their family piano into the kitchen right next to their piano. I did not get my free meal that day. Instead, I sat down, started playing, and I wrote the words to this song, and I'd be honored if you lift your voices and let's celebrate God's love for us together. I love you more than the sun and